Here's two accuracy killers that you may or may not know are affecting that arrow flight and that arrow impact as much as they are. These are easy things to address, and they're probably things that you have developed without really knowing the negative effects. The two things are, when you draw your bow back, you should always try to keep this hand in the correct position from before you actually pull that string, and keep it in the same place all the way until that arrow leaves. If you're drawing back and then changing your hand position, whether you're flipping your arrow back up on a rest or whether you're trying to reseat it differently, that is automatically going to put torque in this bow, and a compound bow at full draw is very loose. There's a lot of pressure off the string. I'm sure when you pull back, you can notice that you can kind of change your hand position and that pin moves around really easy, because that's just how a compound bow works. It's very taut when it's at rest, but once it gets drawn back and it's in that full draw position and there's let off, well, the string can be moved easy, and the front bow hand and the grip and essentially your front sight can be moved easy as well. So the first big no-no is not drawing the bow back and then changing your hand position once you're at full draw. Don't want you to do that. I want you to get in the habit of putting that bow on your leg, holding the bow with your release hand, so that now your grip hand is able to find that comfortable spot, and you can put it on, take it off, move it around. You can do that without having the pressure. If you're always in the habit of holding your bow like this and trying to grab this bow and then push and pull, well, then you end up resetting that hand at such a vulnerable time in the draw cycle. So get in the habit of holding your string with your release or having your release hooked to your D-loop. Get that hand up against the top of that riser or the top of that grip, and then you're going to relax the wrist back so that you have even pressure. And once the pressure's even and you come up and you're in that position, the front fingers are relaxed, well, now you can pull back and the front hand does not change. Okay, that's the first thing. The next thing I don't want you to change is what you're doing back here on the back end, either with your release hand or your face, to try to honestly either waddle in to where your anchor point is comfortable, or the classic is people that haven't got their string fixed or their string corrected to where their peep comes to the right place, and they'll draw back and then come over here and start doing all this. All that totally changes the torque of your setup. And as a competitor, when I would see people changing hand position or facial position after they've drawn the bow, I know that the likelihood of them not putting an arrow where it's supposed to go was very high. So it's such an easy thing to fix, and most likely it's a habit that you formed. So do yourself a favor. If you struggle with your peep, get a good string, get a string where it's been twisted properly, and this peep is going to come back to the right spot. Or if you have to slightly tweak it when the bow is at rest and get it in the position it needs to be. And that way you can comfortably and torquelessly get your front bow hand in position. You can draw back and anchor and look through your peep without having to change anything on the back end. And you can put that arrow right in the middle.